please.
My name is Uha.
I'm Forrest.
My name is Anjani Money.
Zev Driven.
I'm Cynthia.
My name is Kenna Holiday.
Nicole Taylor.
I'm Tommy.
My name is Jacob.
I am a practicing Hindu. I am LDS.
I'm agnostic.
I am Christian.
Spiritual.
I am religious.
I consider myself agnostic.
I'm atheist.
I'm agnostic. It would have to be, I don't know.
This is Kunshan University. A rare Sino-American collaboration, DKU is an extremely rigorous academic institution driven by prestige, ambition, and self-exploration. Its unique position in China as an American school results in an extremely unique experience for all its students. In the spirit of scientific innovation, social development, and global perspective, DKU draws people from all paths of life. Due to the government regulations on religion, organized religious activity is barred on campus. At first glance, the student body seems to align with this philosophy, as personal ideology is rarely publicly discussed. But what truly is the reality of the role of faith in these students' lives?
I'm from America, but I've lived in many places, and I was raised with the same religion all my life, and my family and extended family are all from the same religion. I lived in a small town when I was really young, so our community was super strong there, and in my religion, the community is really strong. I'm Indian in heritage, but I grew up in California. It's been very strange to not find the same community I've had all my life. Whereas I think growing up, it's been very communal and very cultural, and everything we celebrate was always together. I don't think I ever had to participate in my own religious practice privately. Oh, church every Sunday, everyone comes together, we do sacrament, prayer, singing, early morning seminary. The religion is centered around eternal families and having an eternal perspective and a love and care for your family. So I take that super seriously. So I think something huge that college has brought me is meeting people who were like practice different religions. And I think as you grow older, people come into their own with religions very specifically compared to just following what their community does when you're a child. So when I got to DKU, I learned a lot from a lot of people from different backgrounds and religions. And for me, it was really interesting to hear different perspectives because I've been surrounded by people that believe in the same thing as me. How my perspective on religion evolved, I have a greater love for, not religion, but love for God and my relationship with religion, because it's not a set in stone thing. Like, people can believe in different ways and they can worship God in different ways, or whatever they believe in different ways, and I think it's really beautiful. I think people kind of foster their own reasons for why they believe in something and how it drives them, and I think understanding those reasons and understanding those motivations has been a really valuable bit of college, and it's helped me almost further shape this deep belief I have in divinity and like what that means for people. Living in China has been difficult with religion, but also it has made me grow a greater love for my personal connection with God. To get to church, I have to travel to Shanghai in the mornings, and it is so hard. It is so, like, it makes me so tired, but it's super worth it, and I try to go as much as I can, but it's about a 9-hour thing. But every time I go, I am able to connect personally with God, and I think it's important to have a community that also shows up for you. It is not shows up for you, but shows up for themselves, and you're both doing it at the same time. So you feel that you're not alone, especially when you're in China. I would say I'm a lot more religious. I want to know more about every religion. I want to understand people, and I want to know what they believe in and why. And personally, I think I have a stronger connection with God, but in a different way. I think I'm seeking it more because I'm on my own and I'm not relying on my parents and their connection or their relationship with religion or God.
Similarly to Kenna, Tommy Lee is driven by his individuality when confronting religion, spirituality, and how they interact with an important part of his life: science.
Growing up, I was brought up Catholic by my grandparents. I would go to church pretty often, especially for holidays like Easter and Christmas. When I got to high school and I was living with my mom, she started dating this guy who was an atheist, and he really disliked the fact that my grandparents and I were religious, so after that my mom asked me to stop going to church and stuff like that, and I did. I don't consider myself atheist and think at the time it was very much my mom's choice, but I don't consider myself a Christian anymore. I don't wear, my crucifix anymore, and I think a lot of that, partially has to do with my mom, but also because I was able to make a choice on my own. I've met friends from so many different parts of the world that have sort of helped me see past that and also past my confusion between my Christianity and atheism. For instance, like I have a bunch of Muslim friends, and I'll go to the mosque with them and I'll pray with them. In Ramadan, I'll fast with them. I think that for a lot of my friends, especially my Muslim friends, like religion is very important in their lives. Like it affects every choice they make for everything they do every single day. But I don't think that it necessarily takes away from them trying to learn more, especially because I know a lot of my Muslim friends will ask about other religions and be open to learning about them. Two of my closest friends, one of them is a biology major and the other's a neuroscience major, so they are very, STEM inclined. They do scientific method in that, but they also have such a strong belief in their religion. I've always believed that there is a God, but then, I still believe in science and all of that, so it is flexible.
From America. I'm ethnically Jewish, but I consider myself agnostic. I grew up with a Jewish background. I celebrated Hanukkah, Passover, Yom Kippur, and I actually attended a Jewish school in Michigan for 3 years. I guess it was more so me being connected to its culture than the actual religion itself, because I knew so many people associated with Judaism, but I think that was probably like the most tight connection I had with Judaism at that time. A lot of it was my grandma's influence. My parents kind of wanted me to decide for myself, and so after the 3 years I kind of decided it wasn't necessarily for me, and that's where I'm kind of took the path of, I'm open for some religious influence, but I haven't been, convinced of anything yet. I've talked to so many people here with different religious backgrounds, and I'm actually able to, talk to people, have experience with Islam, with Catholicism, Christianity, and so much. And I feel like it's this mixing pot of religions that I'm able to look at. And I think that's very ideal for someone who's open to so many influences. And it's really cool learning about it. But I think I used to kind of believe a lot of it was based off your family association, which is why I feel like I kind of pulled away from religion a little bit. It's because I thought it was like this internal influence and not this. But talking to people, a lot of people here have actually taught themselves and have actually on their own path without family decided to pick up their religion. And I think that's really, really, really cool.
I am American. I'm half white, half Peruvian. I identify spiritual or agnostic to somewhere in Christianity. Somewhere in between. We would go to church. Was baptized in the Catholic Church, got my first communion, and I was also confirmed in Catholic Church as well. As I grew up, I grew more into spirituality or just the universe, a being in general. I believe that Christianity was either too restrictive, and I never felt that connection to God. So as I grew up and as I made my choices, the decisions that I made, that I chose to make, I made sure always aligned with my own moral compass and my own belief system. I had an experience when I went to the Philippines where the situation that I found myself in, the outcome of the situation just made me feel like there has to be someone watching over me. And I was, I guess, very grateful, and the outcome of everything just made me realize that there's no way that there isn't someone watching over me. I now live very independently, so I can make my own independent decisions. With my experience, that just kind of opened my eyes to the fact that I guess I'm not alone in this world, and that there's someone looking after me, along with I would say specifically my grandma influenced me a lot. She was also very religious, very Catholic, and I personally, I believe that she like watches over me at all times. She is my guardian angel, and I wouldn't know if that necessarily aligns with Catholicism or Christianity, but it's a mix of the two in some way.
And how
Picture the universe, I just see like a bajillion million stars and like a night sky. I'm like, yes, this is watching over me. Or it's like God or heaven. I'm like, oh, or maybe he's watching over me. I don't know which one it is. I couldn't tell you right now, like what I believe to be true. Just trying to feel it out. But for sense of like purpose and my purpose here, what I believe is that for whatever reason I was placed on this earth, and I don't think it was for a reason that involves like succeeding in the terms of like in society and in like or economically or things of this nature. It's to bask in just like the glory that is this planet and this earth and the human experience. It's such a beautiful, beautiful experience to be alive. I'm just so grateful to be alive every single day and to experience the full range of human emotions. I think that's what we were meant to do, and to make other people happy and to experience happiness and love and connection and just, to exist fully.
So far, Tommy, Zev, and Nicole have all experienced very religious upbringings. After reflecting on their individual agency in the matter, they now all identify as agnostic. Let's take a look at the interviewees who had opposite initial spiritual journeys.
Growing up, my family was a little bit religious, mostly my grandparents, who I grew up for a good bit of time, but my parents aren't very religious. They're all Christian though, but I don't consider myself very Christian. And I lived more with my mom and with my dad. We kind of separated from that, and they don't necessarily not believe in religion, but they just didn't have a strong emphasis on promoting my brother and I to practice religion. So then my brother and I, as we grew older, kind of fell apart from the religion a little bit. Because even in high school, I still did my prayers and just small things, but as I've been in college, I've definitely moved away from that a little bit and become more focused on myself. But I have become more spiritual, I think. I was focusing more on myself and things I wanted to do. I didn't feel like a passion to follow religion, so I just kind of fell apart from it. I do believe there is something else afterwards, but I'm just not really sure what. And I do focus a lot on self-care and just kindness around people I love. There's so many different cultures here. I think outside of the American community, a lot of people are very religious. So it's really interesting to see how a lot of other cultures are using their religions and also focusing on the sciences and studying a lot at the same time. I think just seeing how the world has evolved and just seeing a lot of other cultures makes me understand that there are a lot of different viewpoints. So I think just saying that I can see things different from other people has helped me a lot along the way to understand. There's a lot going on.
Ethnically, I am part Indian and part Nepalese. I'm not religious. I would consider myself agnostic. Well, I have two sets of very religious grandparents. Both sets are Hindu. My parents, I guess Hindu in name, but I would also call them agnostic. I stayed pretty consistent throughout my life, just because my parents are super lax, they're super chill. My brother's super relaxed and super chill. I didn't really grow up in a state or region that had a lot of religious people. I grew up in the Bay Area. So I wouldn't really say that religion has ever had a huge influence or has played any major role in my life. Apart from when I go to India and go to temples or gurudwaras, or sometimes we even go to church on Christmas. Well, I've had a lot of conversations about religion since I got here. A lot of my friends are religious, and I've noticed that because previously when I'm at home in India and I try to talk to them about religion, the the conversation usually becomes volatile, you know, like people start yelling, people get angry, you know. But I've noticed here, like, you can ask like however many questions you want, like people are really open and they want to share, you know, and not only do they want to share, but they're also open to kind of evolving their own relationship with religion. So I found that really nice. I'm older, so I spent more time like by myself and thinking, and just kind of through conversations with my more spiritual friends, I've been, I guess, more aware of like the largeness, I guess, of life. I'm pretty consistent in my I guess question to like the meaning of life. It's just like be happy, make other people happy, and I feel like in life you don't really need much more than that. Just spread good feelings. Yeah.
I feel like in China, if someone have a faith or something, it will probably be Buddhism, but I don't think my parents have that. I feel like for them it's nothing. I don't think I have a certain faith to believe in. I think like something in life is not can be explained by only science. So sometimes I will believe in for example, just the heaven or God maybe. So basically DKU provides me a more transculture atmosphere, and sometimes when in class I think there is a lot of different thoughts and opinions that I didn't encounter before. For example, I remember there is one student in my social science class that he asked he thinks Communist Party of China, the thing is kind of like a religious thing. Well, I mean I'm using this example just to explain that there's different thoughts and different opinion, which I think is very good and to shape my own understanding.
Each interviewee has completely embraced their sense of spirituality and have truly made it their own, as their morals, daily lives, and hopes for the future continue to mold their faith. What do the two extremes of the spectrum feel?
I guess I'd say raised Jewish. We celebrated all the major holidays. I had my bar mitzvah. I went to some camps and stuff. The time in my life where I was most religious was probably around this bar mitzvah age, 13. I was asking a lot of questions, and I would have considered myself agnostic at that point. It never really was a big part of my life. So after some years of it having no major impact on me, I think I started to identify more with atheism. And it wasn't necessarily a day that I said, okay, I'm atheist now. It's just kind of, I guess, a realization over time, where it's I can find meaning in other things. And so yeah, that brings me here. I love piano for one. I like chess. I like working out. I like making people laugh, making people happy. I like working on myself. I like learning new things. I like living. I like experiencing life, and there was never really sort of, I guess, the spiritual connotation to me. I'm not sure. I think by the time I came to the point where I had to make decisions for myself, which I would say most of the decisions that I've started to make for myself started probably last year when I took a gap year in Poland. I think by that point I was already pretty set in my beliefs. I hope DKU didn't make people lose faith in God. that would be pretty sad. I think people who are strong-willed and who really believe in what they believe in wouldn't have changed their beliefs, based off of an environment like DKU. There's a lot of different faiths here, and I've had a lot of great long conversations about that with a lot of people. And at the very least, I'm really interested to have those sorts of conversations. So I think meaning is what you give it. So things only have meaning if you give them meaning. So helping me think about it that way like leads me to just enjoy the moment, to be able to find happiness in the things around me and not necessarily look to long-term goals.
For my grandparents, I think they just, I don't think they were religious, but they had a lot of ceremonies in-house. I think just Chinese ceremonies. In high school, I started going to youth groups on Friday nights at a local church called Hog 5. And that's when I mainly went to socialize with friends and meet new people. Also, there was a Chinese school there, and there were study groups, so I went there. And then transitioning into college, I kept up that habit, and I joined Christian on campus at Duke because I was at Duke for the first year and a half of my DKU journey. This is a perfect segue from high school to college, and after a year and a half of just weekly family meetings and reading through the Bible together, I got baptized at Duke a day before my birthday, and I think that's one of the sweetest moments of my religious journey so far. Everyone's a little skeptical in a sense, or it's like the idea of religion or like even Christ is thrown onto people, and it just through experiences, I guess, you'll end up opening up to the Lord, and there's high highs and low lows, but at the end of the day, it's I think it's about discipline, and yeah. I think to me, I don't think religion is a separate part of life, right? You can intertwine religion with your friends, with your work, your studies, with music, with a lot of things. As Christians, we believe that there's the body, the spirit, and also the mind, right? So bodily, I think that's something that I get to work on, whether that's through the gym or through sports or other things, right? And the mind is also with habits and psychologically, just making sure that I'm resting well and stimulating myself through academics. And then the spirit is also seen as like an organ of sorts by a lot of people. That's the easiest way, I guess, to describe it. And it is always present and ever present within you, and you basically have to exercise it the way you would your normal muscles, and that's through connecting with the Lord and reading the Bible, right? Mm-hmm. My ethos surrounds like experiential learning, whether that's academically or like in life, right? Like I believe life lessons teach you a lot. You want to find meaning making, and that's through like your life goals and what you want to do, I guess. And in the past couple of months, I think, since deciding to apply to grad school, I think I found a deeper purpose. And I wouldn't say that's due to science or religion or like anything else, but I think that's just my life experience as a whole.
These conversations, which are not often had, have given us a vulnerable look into how these people are exploring their young adult lives, figuring out their purpose, and connecting with the world around them. Even though they come from different backgrounds and come here to DKU, an extremely intellectually challenging experience, they want to grow and know more, and they do so with immense empathy, love, and understanding.
Is it starting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Okay. Hi, Forrest. Thank you for being here with me today. Hi, Uhak. Again. One more time.
Yeah.
You can even just...
Did that, and
No. One more time.
Okay, but you can cut this.
Yeah, we can cut it.
Guys, I don't know what to say. Okay, no, okay. It's just everything's so confusing.